What is up, everybody? Coach Juma here. Today we are going to be breaking down how to properly train your triceps with the basic tricep extension. It's always these simplest exercises that most people get wrong because they think they just need to move the weight down, move the rope down, whatever the case may be. It's a little more complex than that. A lot of the simple mistakes that people are making when going through the tricep extension is shrugging their shoulders up, keeping their elbows too tight, putting their elbows too wide, standing straight up when doing a tricep extension, or for some people, using the wrong rope attachment, which we'll get into a little bit later. When doing any of these incorrect movements that we talked about, you are adding a lot of extra stress on your elbow and shoulder joints and taking tension away from your triceps. So you're increasing your risk of injury, decreasing the effectiveness of your training, and just limiting your overall training experience from being as successful as you want it to be, regardless of what your goal is. One of the best things to do is before you start, making sure that you give yourself a slight forward lean. This creates a greater arm path for your tricep to work through and gives you the maximum contraction you need to hit the tricep effectively. Now, the tricep has two jobs: extending the elbow, which means straightening your arms, but also extending your shoulder, which means bringing your shoulders backwards as if you're holding a proud chest, squeezing your shoulder blades behind you. When you do a tricep extension, you want to get the most out of both of these functions of the tricep. So using a rope attachment as opposed to a fixed attachment like this W bar here, you're going to be getting a full extension of your arm while pulling away from your body. You want to also line up your shoulder in the scapular plane so that your elbows aren't too tight, your elbows aren't too wide. It's going to be about a 45-degree angle between your torso and your elbow, and you're extending out and pulling the rope apart to get the most out of it. Now, for most broader shouldered people, this little rope attachment isn't going to be too effective. As you can see, for me, I can't reach all the way back because of that, and part of it is because the way my shoulders are set up. Because the weight of my bank account is set up. They're too wide to reach that. Even at their furthest extended point, they're still internally rotated a little bit, and I'm crunching forward a little bit. I still get a good contraction with my triceps, but it's not as good or as optimal as it could be. You can always have the option to opt for a longer rope if your gym has that. This gym that I was at recording did not have that. So what you can do instead is combine two rope attachments into one. You're going to be using more equipment this way. Some people might get mad at you, but you're getting better workout from it. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. Just don't take too long doing your exercise. But when you see the side by side of me doing the single rope versus the double rope, you can see I'm able to get back further, extend my shoulders back further, stay in the scapular plane where the angle of my arms and the angle of the ropes line up with each other. I get that awesome contraction with my triceps to really hit it hard and get the most out of it. Now, for most people, if you don't want to take up too much equipment, if you don't feel comfortable doing it this way, another piece of equipment that you could do is the cross cable tricep extension. So this can be on any set of two cable machines. You can also do this with one arm at a time too if you feel more comfortable doing it that way. The goal is reaching from across your body. You're still giving yourself a slight forward lean, and you're extending your elbows as far as you can. And once you reach that max elbow extension point, extending your shoulders a little bit backwards as well to really finish off that tricep contraction and take it through that full range of motion. Now, the important thing here is making sure that the cables line up with your arm angle. What that means is your arm and the cable machine should line up with each other. If they're not lining up with each other, like you can see here, you're not actually hitting your tricep effectively. It's actually going to take a lot of tension off of it, and ultimately you're just having an ineffective workout. So make sure that you line up the cable to match your body to be where your elbow is 45 degrees wide from your torso. You're extending to where the cable lines up perfectly with your arm, and you're flexing your shoulders at the end, bringing them backwards to really achieve that maximum tricep contraction. So stupid simple summary here. Make sure that you give yourself a slight forward lean with any tricep extension that you're going to be doing. This is going to help give your arm space to move through a greater range of motion and add more tension to your tricep. You want to make sure that your shoulders are going to be back at the end of the movement and your arms are at a 45-degree angle away from your body. Not too wide, not too close, giving your tricep the space it needs to actually function properly with the anatomy of your body. And lastly, whether you use the double rope attachment, the long rope attachment, or this cross cable attachment, you want the cable or ropes to line up with your arm angle when you go through the tricep extension. Otherwise, you're not actually putting as much load and tension on your triceps as you want to get the most out of the movement. So hope you found this helpful in learning how to better train tricep extensions. Make sure you subscribe and share this with a friend if you found it helpful. And until next time, stay stupid.